We will have a little discussion about the average revenue per user that we might obtain from the telecom business alone. We might actually consider the cable TV or the IPTV connections a bit later. Considering the most popular plan of internet or FTTH that is being provided by BSNL nowadays is 777 plan, 777 plan per month. So 50% of the revenue share, that would come to around 388 rupees. I am taking just the average revenue per user to be 300 only, not 388, it is 300, considering that there might be some plans beneath that, there might be a lot of plans above that also, like 1277 plans, etc. So average revenue per user, if it is taken as 300, and if you are able to manage some 400 connections, the average revenue from telecom business alone would be around 1,20,000. That would be around 14 to 15 lakhs per year. So out of this 1,20,000 you are earning in a month, you have already some 4 staffs that you have appointed. There might be some recurring expenditure. So considering those staff salary and the recurring expenditure to be maximum around 90,000 or 70 to 90,000, you will be having a profit or a balance of around 30,000 per month, 30 to 40,000 per month. I am only considering 300 as the ARPU. I have not considered the cable TV business that we are also doing. Even the average revenue per user for the cable TV business would come to minimum of 70 to 80 rupees per customer. So you have to add that as well. The number of cable TV connections, maximum more number of cable TV connections, that PTV connections that you are providing, those revenue also would be increasing. So if we are having around 400 or 450 connections or even 500 connections, almost you will be earning around 20 lakh rupees per year. The most interesting and important part is the same amount of money that BSNL is also having from that particular year. So it is just like a win-win situation for both the TIP as well as for BSNL.
BSNL is a company fully owned by the government of India, having huge potential and very much skilled staff. Widespread reachability of optic fiber network is its main advantage. The company is providing a vast variety of services by using the state-of-the-art technologies. The company would have been in a better position in broadband wireless services if sufficient spectrum were available for the 4G operations. But the financial crisis prevents BSNL from providing the satisfactory services as per the expectation of the customers. Even though we are having sufficient capacity in FTTH network, the last mile connectivity is very much lagging. So we are lagging in providing FTTH services. The option available before us is to go for the LCO route. But many of the LCOs who have entered agreement with us is not ready to provide our services as an exclusive LCO. So the only solution is to have a exclusive BSNL LCO. One of our JTO in OMCR, Anoops approached with us with such a solution. So we all in our OMCR supported him and encouraged him to visualize this project. So he groomed a person in his native locality for providing such a exclusive BSNL LCO. The peculiarity of this LCO is that it is a real triple play service by incorporating the IPTV services and the VoIP telephone services. The feature is that the VoIP telephony can be extended through the mobile set of any customer without having a separate VoIP phone. The IPTV is also not consuming any customer data, and a huge saving in customer data is there. So this model can be promoted in a large way. When Kerala is concerned, it is having a very large network of cooperative movements. So these cooperative movements can also be considered for providing LCO services. This video will provide a brief description about this model, and I extend all the success to this endeavor.
Here in this list is shown the price details of various items purchased by AnioMAX for setting up of their network. Here we can see the consolidation of those items into various categories. In the category of exchange equipments, we can see the main items like OLT, which cost around 1.25 lakhs, then cabinet, L3 switch, inverter, etc. The cache server for providing IPTV is being assembled now, and the exact price of the cache server having LAN cards with optical 1 Gbps and 10 Gbps ports on the uplink and downlink side respectively for improved latency and reduced jitter, etc. would only be known later after the assembly process. The cost, however, is estimated to be around 85,000 rupees. The total cost of exchange equipments would thus be around 2.5 lakhs. In the category of outdoor expenses, the cost for 12 fiber OFC was rupees 16 per meter, and the cost of stay wire was rupees 3.5, making it around rupees 20 per meter. The pulling charge was around rupees 4 to 6 for AnioMAX. Thus, establishing a basic backbone 12 fiber OFC network of around 8 kilometers cost AnioMAX rupees 2.1 lakhs. AnioMAX used 514 poles from Kerala State Electricity Board for holding their OFC, and the rent paid for 1 year for those poles was around rupees 1.16 lakhs. The number of poles required, however, depends on the geography, availability of BSNL poles in that area, etc. We may even think of setting up our own poles after few years once the business is established in that area, but that is not to be thought of initially. Thus, the total expense for setting up of outdoor network was rupees 3.5 to 4 lakhs, and the total setting up charges of indoor and outdoor network together would be around rupees 6 lakhs. In the recurring monthly expense category, we have the salary of our staff, which would maximum be around rupees 75,000, and some other operational or incidental expenses of rupees 15 to 20,000 also would be there monthly. We should thus expect a monthly expense of around 80,000 to 1 lakh. After some period of time, the staff salary can also be arranged on a revenue share basis. The KSCB pole rental and the BSNL co-location charges is to be made annually only. Later on, after some time, we might also think of purchasing optical fiber splicing machine, etc., which would cost around rupees 1.25 lakhs. Charges to be levied from the customer when we provide the service to them. One-time installation charge of rupees 1,000, which should include around 50 meters of drop fiber, the stay wire, joint kit, coupler, splitter, etc. This charge, however, can be waived depending upon the prospective business in that particular area, and that decision is to be made on our discretion. The ONT and indoor optical fiber accessories should be charged at rupees 1,250. The N series and AC series Wi-Fi router is costing around rupees 750 and rupees 2,500 respectively, if the customer doesn't have a suitable Wi-Fi router with him. Android box is costing rupees 2,000 if the customer doesn't have a smart TV and if the customer opt for IPTV service. The IP phone costs around rupees 2,750 if the customer want a phone with big dial buttons. These are some important points to be followed while maintaining the service after the setting up of the network.